Hello, everyone. Hi, hi. How are you doing? How are you doing? If you're here, let me see you in the chat box. 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 If you're here, I want to see some comments. Today, we're having a conversation. We're having a conversation today. It's not active teaching, active conversation. Might be short, it's definitely going to be worth it. Always is worth it. It's always worth it. Yes, it's great to see you too. How are you guys doing today? I changed my chair. I'm tired of the one that squeaks. It needs oil though. Still good, but it just needs oil. Yes, it's great to hear from you guys. Great to see you too. So, like I said, we're going to be having a conversation today. It's not going to be active teaching or, yeah, maybe a bit of question and answer if you guys care to ask. Um, Great to see you too. So, yeah, if you guys have questions, feel free, shoot, ask. So, let me just throw this out there. How has the class been for you? How has your experience been? I've received a few personal feedbacks, but I want to just get from you here. So, for you in the chat section, has it been? What have you gotten so far? And if you've also been missing the class, it's also a part of the experience. It's just not a good one. So, how has that been? If you have not subscribed to this YouTube channel and you're eating from here, it's bad. It's like you're eating and you're not doing the dishes. So go subscribe, like the videos, like the training videos. And that's if you can see them because I already unlisted them. We're just doing live classes for now, to the end rather, not even for now. So yeah, how has it been for you? We'd love to get feedback from you here on the live segment. So the conversation we're having today is basically about building balance, building structure. This is what this course is about: building a life of structure and balance. So I'm going to be sharing our personal experiences. I'm going to be giving tips. We're coming to the final weeks of Compass 1.0. It's ending next week. I shared it last week that it's going to be ending in 2 weeks. It's already the end of 1 week, and it's going to be ending next week. So we're going to be finishing by the second week of August, the second week in August, 2024, and we're going to wrap it up with a party, like a party, a virtual party. Right. So still waiting for feedback. But yeah, understanding balance, understanding structure, understanding those tricky things about life is greatly tied to why is this slide acting funny? It's greatly tied to how much you understand yourself and your seasons. So if you let's take for example, times when I had struggled to build balance around my life, right? Times when I struggled to build balance. Those times were there because I didn't exactly understand how to fix things where they should be. So this is one of the reasons why you might be struggling with balance right now. Number one, you're not in full understanding or in full control of your life and how things should be playing out right now. Now, don't get me wrong. This doesn't mean that circumstances will not arise or that some bad will not just come and hit you in life. It happens that if things that we do not expect happen in life. But at the same time, there has to be some level of control that you have over yourself in that situation. Do you get what I said? So you don't necessarily have to have control over the situation that seems to be stressing you out, but you can have control over how you react to the situation. So let me know if you can still hear me. I want to be sure. I don't want anything like because yesterday some people said they couldn't hear me or the live disconnected, but it was working fine on my end. So please check on your network. Okay, guys. So reconnecting back to what I had said. So times like that, you have to understand that sometimes situations rather wouldn't change, but how you react to those situations matter the most. So you need to look at yourself in different situations and ask yourself, how am I reacting to this? What is my reaction to this? What am I doing about this? Now I'm going to give you a practical example. There were times before now I used to be so burnt out by my work. I have like a whole lot to do. My contributions to the organizations I work with, partnerships, things that I volunteer to do, like just major things that surround me and that I devote my time into doing, studying, academics as well. Because I mean, there's advancement in all areas, so it takes work in all areas. So I used to be very, very burnt out, tired, exhausted, and I never really felt like I was in control. And somehow I feel like it was even better for me. Yeah, I always feel like it was better for me because I do hear some stories of some people. I'm like, oh, I was never that bad. And the reason why I think that it was better for me was because of the knowledge that I had. And I know many people say, oh, knowledge is power, knowledge is key. Knowledge is actually power, but the real power, like the actual stronger power, lies in the application of the knowledge. So even at the time that used to look like my worst, it wasn't that bad, because of the knowledge that I was applying in my daily things that I do per time, per season. And over time, how I got to get over the feeling of imbalance, and the feeling of being burnt out, stress, how I got to get over those is pretty much the ways that I have given in all the courses, in all the units, all the explanations is the same way. So I bring myself here. I was having a conversation with a friend last week. We were reconnecting. We've not spoken in a long time. The times when you just have friends, and you guys are like friends, but you're not talking every single day, every single time. But whenever you get the chance to call each other like this, it's always a banger. It's always a hit because you get to catch up on everything, catch up with everything, and it's always great to do that. So we're doing that, and he was asking me that how are you able to be this side of you and then this busy side of you, how are you able to put it together? Then I started to explain that, oh, I had to learn how to separate myself into different beings. I have different personalities. This is the coach Yemi side of me. The other side of me that my friends call and have is Yemi the Coco. And that's the side of me that I always want to be on stages. I want to be a compare. I want to host a show. I want to do a whole lot of things, like fun stuff. I want to be out there. I want to see life. I want to explore life. It doesn't mean that we're not all together an entity, but those are just different sides of me that come up when they need to be there. So now imagine if you have like different, like my skill set, my career line is very, very broad and very interesting, and also interesting in a way that it's interlinked with each other, right? Because in coaching, you have to have public speaking skills, and in being an event compare, you have to have public speaking skills. These things are so important. So one skill can be linked to like three other things, and that makes you successful in that area, right? Me specifically. So I was explaining to him that when I'm having issues, it's just the same way my skill sets are diverse. That's the same way I duplicate myself. I'm always like, okay, you stay here, you stay here, you stay here. What is the problem? I have serious self-reflection moments. I do not joke with self-reflection because the moment that you're actually postponing things, you're postponing experiences, you're postponing processings, or you're heartbroken, you're not processing the heartbreak. you're hurt, you're not processing the hurt. You feel like someone has let you down. You're not processing it. You're not letting that person go. You're not letting the experience go. The moment you begin to hold on to these things for a long period of time, you become what you're trying to avoid. You become that trauma, you become that aggression. You start to do those things. You start to act like the person that did the bad thing to you and that you said you were never gonna be. And it is unintentional. Oftentimes, it's most of the time it's very unintentional. You don't know. And if someone should even tell you, you would disagree. You would disagree, be like, no. You might even fight with the person. You might. So, because I understand that and I have experienced it in real time, in times when I'm avoiding something, I'm avoiding a situation, a conversation, and I realize that it's beginning to affect my relationship with the person. Like, this is external first. Like, I experienced it externally. So understanding that, oh, it was beginning to affect my relationship with this person, then I began to understand that I need to focus on building that bond back. Or I mean, it has to be mutual. Like, we need to focus on that, or we need to focus on forgiving each other. We need to focus on letting go. Things like that were things that I began to realize externally. So bringing that knowledge internally, this is just like, I'm just giving you guys like a part of it so that you don't get confused. So bringing all of this internally, this is me getting to understand that the issue is with me. It's not with me and five others. I'm the one who needs balance. It's not me and five others. And even if I want to help five others, I have to put myself together first. I have to be helped first before stretching my hand and trying to help somebody. Like, imagine if I'm drowning and I'm trying to save someone from drowning. How does that work? It makes no sense, because I would drown and that person would drown even much more, or maybe in a more painful way than I would. So someone who hasn't found a way to be balanced cannot be telling you how to do this and how to do that. It makes no sense. Practically, you know, practically it doesn't make sense. So building balance takes a lot of reflection. It takes a whole lot of reflection. This is something that I've also hammered on and on in the course as well. You need to focus on yourself. You need to bring yourself together. You need to have conversations with yourself, just like I did, just like I do right now. So that's that about my self-reflection, like a bit of my self-reflection story and practice. So it's very, very much internal. Bring yourself together. Ask yourself questions. Why do I feel this way? Why am I going through this? Why are people treating me this way? Why am I feeling in this area? What can I do? So begin to join the things that you have noticed together, and the things that you want to change. Just bring them together and cause that change to happen. Every change that you want to happen is in you. You have the power to make them happen. You have the power to make every change happen. So don't tell yourself stories like, oh, I'm not capable, I'm not strong enough, it's not something that I can do. That is a lie. That's not true. Okay? So that's about how self reflection has got a lot to do with setting balance and internalizing, and just helping you to have a great idea of where to start from in your journey, or on your journey into building balance and structure. Right. Yes, so questions. If you want to hear more stories like this, you really, really, really should go check out the course as well. Because I mean, in there, there are like many, 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 many other things that I shared, to be specific. So, if you do have questions about setting, balance, building structure, shoot them in the chat section. Let me see. We're having conversations today. We're not. There's no. I mean, I'm still, regardless, I'm still coaching, but at least, at least, right? Um. So yeah, questions. while the questions are coming in, I'm gonna get to um doing something right now. It's very urgent. Hope you can hear my keyboard clanking like pam pam pam. Okay, now I'm back. I needed to attend to that. Now I'm going to take one question that I have found in the Google Forms. Right, this is a question that I find very smart. I find it smart, and I'm going to talk about it. So, okay, now the question is, excuse me, what are the signs that I might be overcommitting or spreading myself too thin? Now, the signs are actually many sometimes, and sometimes they are few. There are specific questions that I do ask my coaching clients how just to figure out how much or how less it is. But one of the simple way that one of the simple signs rather, I mean, based on your question, the signs that you'd see when you begin to spread yourself too thin. One of the simple signs that you see is how that you'd feel like you don't have control. Yeah, you would feel like you don't have control. You'd and that will cause you to feel stressed out. So the feeling of not having control will cause you to feel burnt out and stressed out. That is a big, big, big sign. It's like a red flag, waving like this red flag, red flag. So most of these things come in form of feelings. And feelings are abstract and you really have to pay attention to them before you even realize that, oh, I think there's something. I feel something, like something's going on inside me. So you need to look out for these things, look out for these areas on a more serious note now. Look out for these areas because they matter. You need to check out for them. So that's one of the major ways that you would know if you're living an imbalanced life or if something is off. Okay, or if you're overcommitting yourself. Yeah, but for overcommitment, yes, similarly, you feel tired, you feel burnt out, you feel stressed out, you feel used, if you're overcommitting yourself to something, especially if you're not being well rewarded. So you begin to feel like that, and it's not cool at all. It's not cool at all. So yes, please look out for these things. Look out for those signs. Now, I'm gonna take one more question that I see on the forms. Very interesting. How can I adjust my plans and structures when unexpected changes occur? Hmm. Now, how you can adjust your plans and structures when unexpected changes occur is by following the matrix that I had given. If you joined, this should be in the last class. I explained the Eisenhower matrix and how that is divided into four squares: important, rather urgent, important, unimportant, which can be delegated, and then postponed or cancelled. So if you're using that matrix, you will be able to understand what is important to you per time, what is important to you per season, what should take your attention, what should not take your attention. So when you're able to do that, no matter the time that you're in, you'll be able to figure out what you can handle, what you can do yourself, and things you can pay someone to do, or things you can delegate. And remember, I always tell you that money is not the only form of payment. You can exchange value. You can definitely exchange value. So when something is not within your power, it's beyond you, but you know someone who can actually handle it perfectly well, you can then give it to them to do it. And while you focus on the things that are more personal to you and more important on more internal. So yeah, I hope that helps. And I hope the asker is here because I've answered the question. So yes, that's how you can do that. What other questions do we have here? Let's see. Let me look for another smart question to answer. So checking through the forms to see another smart question to answer. I've answered two questions so far. What are some effective ways to say no without feeling guilty or damaging relationships? I spoke a bit about this in the last class as well. So saying no is a necessity, something that you need to do. It's necessary. It's like air that you breathe. You should know how to turn some things down. So I'm just going to be giving a very brief answer. So one of the effective ways, I'll give you two ways. One of them would be expressing yourself, being honest. So be honest with the person asking you for a favor. Be honest with the person asking you to do something for them, your colleague, your husband, your friend, whoever they are. Let them know that this thing that they're telling you to do cannot work right now because you're either caught up with doing so many things at the moment, or doing it will break you down. And just give real life or truthful reasons. Don't like make up reasons or make them feel unwanted. So make sure that you are there for them, or if you can even help them delegate it, help them do it. But make sure that you don't take on that responsibility when you're not ready for it. Okay, so this is where learning to set boundaries come in, because you have to know how to decline requests, and not just decline them, but do them respectfully. Do them respectfully. Do them out of empathy, out of understanding, and that way, you get even more respected. Some people will tell you no, and the way they will tell you, you automatically kind of like dislike them. But there's a way you can say no that will make you be respected, and in a way that would also show people that you respect them, okay? Uh, yeah, so I'm going to just take those three questions. And I think I have done great by taking those three. Now, if you do have questions, shoot them in the chat section. I'm bringing this to an end already. Yes, 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 yes. And if you are just hearing, Compass 1.0 is coming to an end, guys. And I know it has been a blessing. It's coming to an end. So go and gather your harvest. Harvest season is coming. Let's see what you have done with this class. I'm going to be asking you. I'm going to be asking you, there's going to be follow-ups going on and on in the two different ships for a while, a while, right? So, and we're also going to continue other initiatives from here. But Compass 1.0 is definitely committed, and all things will end regardless, right? Regardless. So, are there any other questions for me to answer? If not, let's bring this to a wrap. Let me go work on all this stuff. Uh, okay, I'm just gonna give us a few more minutes just to see if probably someone's typing or thinking. So just 2 minutes, and then we'll bring this to a close. All right, awesome. No questions. No questions. That's perfect, guys. See you in the last class. Yeah, see you in the last class. Oh, all right. I'm waiting. All right. Still waiting. Still waiting for your question. It's like you have a lot of things to type. Oh my. I thought you were typing. I thought you were typing already. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so if it's a personal question, I mean, if it's something that's very much personal to you, you can ask him my DM. But if not, you can ask it as well. So I'm just gonna wait a while more, okay? Hmm. How did I feel like the question you're going to ask me was linked to multitasking? I don't know why I just felt it. All right, so her question is, how can someone who doesn't know how to multitask but has a lot they want to achieve, or has a lot they want to do to achieve a lot? Just let me just rephrase this. So, how can someone who doesn't know how to multitask work on achieving a lot of things which they want to achieve? Um, this question is tricky, and the reason why I say it's tricky is because not everyone can multitask. And because not everyone can multitask, I can't give one answer. So I'm going to give two answers and you pick the one that works best for you. Okay. Now, for someone like me, I I don't think I was born with multitasking skill. I don't think anyone is actually born with one skill or the other, and becomes a master from heaven. Everyone comes here, learns something in order to do something or be something. So my number one answer would be knowing that multitasking is not your strong skill. How about you try to build it? How about you try to build that skill? And my second answer would be knowing that you cannot exactly multitask. How about you break things down to the level that you can, that you can do, and you delegate what you can delegate, or you break your goals down according to your capacity. So it's either you stay where you are and make it work, mm, or you raise the bar high for yourself so you can make it work according to the fast pace that you need it to work. So if your pace is not fast, if you're not trying to be fast with anything, you can relax. But if you know that you're trying to be fast, then you need to learn how to multitask. You need to learn how to do um, two things at a time and still have a solid mindset. For example, while you were typing your questions, I was working on a document and then I came back here to answer your question. Now, I'm not mixing the content in that document up with my answer because they're two separate entities. So it means that my brain is having like different compartments for them and can run them um, very well, without mixing information. So you need to actually understand how this how this can work for you. You know where your shoes hurt. Another aspect of this is that if your issue is specifically about time, there would have been questions I would have loved to ask you just to get the specific problem. Because oftentimes when people ask questions like this is actually not the problem. The real problem is in something that you're not saying. But let me just say that if time is an issue for you, let's just say time is not exactly enough for you. I see some people post some funny things. They say, 24 hours is no longer enough. It can actually still be enough. 24 hours is actually enough. I mean, the person who created the 24-hour knows what he was doing. Like, I can't really knew what he was doing. So 24 hours is actually enough. You're the one who's trying to do too much in 24 hours. So can you slow down? Can you relax and try to break things down? Do like 3 to 4 major tasks in a day. Don't try to do like 10. Don't try to do 10. You exhaust yourself doing physical work, and then you want to be creative mentally, but the creativity is no longer there. It's because of the previous task you did before. So a lot of things go into learning the art of multitasking. It's a whole lot. So I think that we can have a further conversation in my DM. But right now, let me know if I confused you or answered your question in some way, and or if my answer give you more questions to ask. All right, no problem. That's awesome. All right, great to know. So to everyone, goodbye. Goodbye, but not goodbye. See you in the last class that we're going to be having next week, and that's going to be like our closing class. Yes, you're welcome. You're welcome. Take care, guys. Take care. And if you've not subscribed to the channel, subscribe. If you've not liked the class videos, like them. If you've not shared, share it. Share your experiences with me. Share how the classes have been. Share everything. What have you been working on? Your progress reports. Share them. Okay, let's have some sort of accountability amongst each other. Right. So let's do this. See you in the next class. Take good care of yourselves. Bye.